was on antidepressants. He's not anymore. He's the happiest, most healthy, most productive he's ever been in his life. Because we have to change his beliefs and tell him, like, why are you belittling your own self? And why don't you just see what would happen if you just start to believe that you can make some progress here? And that's exactly what happened. It's hard to convince someone who's so stuck in their ways, thinking like, nope, I can't change it because it's, the doctor said it's genetic. But whilst we're talking about all this, depression seems like the enemy that we want to fight against. It's a bad thing that's happening to us. I don't think so. I think it would actually serve us to be grateful for our depression. We can view depression actually as our ally. Depression is these emotions, which is kind of like a thermostat telling us that something is wrong with our lives, that we're living without meaning, that we're overindulging in bad habits. That's actually very beneficial when you think about it. Your body is literally giving you like an unpleasant feeling of like emptiness and purposelessness. You're getting that feeling on purpose to hopefully direct you into the right course of action. We should be grateful for depression, because if we didn't have this feeling that was showing us that we were on the wrong track of life, you wouldn't be watching this video today. You wouldn't have ever really cared about improving your mental health. And so how do you cure depression? First off, you need to stop doing the things that are causing you to feel that way, which is those instant gratification activities. And this is like a hard to swallow pill for a lot of people, because they really don't want to admit they're so certain that, video games and lack of sunlight and lack of water and lack of proper nutrition are causing them to feel negative and empty and nihilistic, but it probably is the case. We need to stop doing those bad habits, and we need to start doing the good mental health practices that you're going to learn in this guide. Now, there's a very interesting concept of depression that we can talk about here, which is that having depression actually makes it hard, if not impossible, to do the things that would ease depression. So when you have depression, it almost feels like you have an inability to be productive and to do the right things that would ease depression. It's almost like a catch-22. It's like a very deadly cycle. And so I want to reframe your mind here to empower you to be able to make some changes in your life. Don't think about it as depression stopping you from being able to do like the good habits and, forcing you to stay on the bad habits. And simply just look at all this as it is: habits. If we can nail just the habits without this extra belief, like, oh yeah, well, I'm handicapped because I have this issue. And we simply just say, okay, you're struggling with the habit of exercise. Well, there's 100 things I could teach you about that. You're struggling with the habit of diet. Well, there's 100 things I could teach you about that. If we simply change your habits, you will feel better, and your score in that mental health assessment will go down. And so now let's talk about anxiety. How does it feel to be anxious? It feels like you're hyper-vigilant. You're like really, really aware. You're overthinking about bad things that could happen. What's interesting is that anxiety is quite individual and unique